Welcome to Wisdom Sessions. I'm Zoe, and today we have something truly profound to explore with the Master. We'll be diving into questions about love, truth, courage, and what it means to live authentically even when life shatters our deepest beliefs. Today we have 5 questions from our audience, each touching on themes of relationships, identity, and the courage to face reality. Master, thank you for being here with us.
It is always beautiful to explore these questions together. Let us begin.
Our first question comes from a listener who wishes to remain anonymous. She writes, Master, I am a 38-year-old woman who remarried after years of being alone. I thought I had found a kind, gentle man who would love both me and my daughter. But after a few years, I discovered text messages and photos. Eventually, he confessed he doesn't love women. He married me only because he was afraid of disappointing his parents. Since that day, I've been living in silence. I don't know if I'm still a wife or just a shadow in this house. Should I leave or should I stay for my daughter's sake, even if it's just in name? Master?
When a person discovers that the one they love does not truly belong to them, the first thing they feel is betrayal. But here's something you must understand. Before he betrayed you, he betrayed himself. He did not deceive you intentionally. He deceived himself first, trying to live differently to be accepted by the world. And all pretense creates suffering, not just for the actor, but for everyone who gets pulled into that performance. You see, this woman has not encountered a betrayer. She has encountered a soul who has not yet gathered the courage to live authentically. And what about her? She loved not just with her heart, but with a belief that this is the last time I will be loved. And it is precisely this belief that made her afraid to leave. She thinks if I lose him, I will have no one left. But let me tell you something very important. Love never binds. Only fear does. If she stays because of compassion, she will die slowly in that pity. If she leaves because of resentment, she will live forever in hatred. But if she leaves with understanding, that is when love becomes complete, because it teaches her to see what is real and what is false. Do not think that love ends when we walk away. Love ends when we lose the ability to love, including loving ourselves. This is the deeper understanding. She doesn't need to ask, should I forgive? Because forgiveness is not an action, it is an awakening. Forgiveness is when you look at the other person and realize he is not bad, he simply does not yet understand himself. And in that moment of understanding, her heart will become lighter, like someone putting down a burden they have carried their entire life without knowing why. This is what I call true freedom.
That's such a powerful reframing, the idea that betrayal of self comes before betrayal of others. Let's continue. This leads to our second question, also from the same listener. Master, what about my daughter? If I leave, won't she lose her father? How do I balance my need for truth with her need for family?
This is what parents always ask. But listen carefully. A child does not need to see their mother endure suffering in order to call it a family. She needs to see her mother living authentically so she can believe that courage has a real form. A mother who is free, who is at peace, this is the greatest gift a child can receive. You see, we think we are protecting our children by staying in dead relationships. But what are we really teaching them? We are teaching them that love means suffering in silence. We are teaching them that truth is less important than appearances. We are teaching them to be afraid. Marriage is not a prison, but human beings turn it into a prison when they think divorce is failure. No, my friend. Failure is not in the separation. Failure is in staying when the heart has already died. That is the real death. When you stay out of fear, out of obligation, out of what will people say, you are already dead. You are a ghost in your own life. If this woman dares to walk away, not with anger, not with blame, but with gratitude for the lesson that came, then in that very moment, she has conquered herself. And perhaps one day she will understand, this husband was not a mistake. He was a mirror that helped me see the limits of love. Because when a false love shatters, a true love is being born in the heart of the one who has awakened.
Beautiful. The child learns courage from watching the mother live courageously. That shifts everything. Our third question comes from Michael in Seattle. Master, I struggle with living authentically because I'm afraid of hurting the people who love me. How do we balance being true to ourselves with not causing pain to others? Where is the line?
Michael is asking one of the most important questions, and I will be very clear with you. There is no way to live authentically without sometimes causing pain to others. But here is what you must understand, that pain is not your responsibility to carry. You see, when you live falsely to make others happy, you think you are being kind, but you are not. You are being cowardly, and your cowardice will eventually poison everyone around you, including those you are trying to protect. Inauthenticity is like a slow poison. It kills slowly, quietly, but it kills. Let me tell you something. When someone is hurt because you chose to live your truth, their hurt is not about you. It is about their expectations, their attachments, their ideas of who you should be. They wanted you to fit into their picture, and when you don't fit, they feel pain. But that pain is their spiritual work, not your burden. Of course, be compassionate. Speak your truth with love, not with violence. But do not sacrifice your life at the altar of others' expectations. Because if you do, you will become bitter, and bitterness will hurt them far more than your honesty ever could. An honest person who causes temporary pain is a gift. A dishonest person who maintains false peace is a curse. So where is the line? The line is here. Be truthful, but be loving. Be authentic, but be compassionate. Do not announce your truth to hurt others, but do not hide your truth to please others either. Walk the middle path. This is what Buddha calls the middle way.
That distinction between being truthful and being cruel is so important. Thank you, Master. Question 4 is from Elena in Buenos Aires. Master, how do we know when staying in a difficult relationship is spiritual growth versus when it's just suffering? Sometimes I feel like I'm being tested. Other times I feel like I'm just being foolish.
Elena, this is a very intelligent question, and it requires a very subtle answer. Listen carefully. There is a difference between conscious suffering and unconscious suffering. There is a difference between challenge and poison. When a relationship challenges you to grow, to become more aware, to drop your ego, to become more loving, that difficulty is spiritual growth. You feel stretched, you feel uncomfortable, but underneath there is aliveness. There is movement, there is transformation happening. This kind of suffering is like the pain of birth. Something new is coming. But when a relationship simply drains you, when it makes you smaller, when it kills your spirit day by day, when you feel like you are dying inside, that is not spiritual growth. That is just suffering. That is poison. And no amount of positive thinking will turn poison into medicine. How do you know the difference? Very simple. Ask yourself, am I becoming more alive in this relationship, or am I becoming more dead? Am I expanding, or am I shrinking? Am I learning to love more deeply, or am I learning to protect myself more carefully? If you are closing, if you are becoming cold, if you are losing your joy, your laughter, your spontaneity, then it is time to go. This is not spiritual growth, this is spiritual suicide. And remember, leaving is not always about the other person being bad. Sometimes two people are simply not meant to walk together. There is no blame, but there is also no point in forcing a connection that has died. Let death be death, and allow new life to emerge.
That clarity about aliveness versus deadness as the measure, that's so helpful. Our final question, and our last question today, comes from the original listener again. Master, after everything, how do I learn to trust again? How do I open my heart after discovering that the person I trusted most was living a lie?
Now we come to the deepest question. How to trust again. and I will tell you something that may surprise you. You don't need to learn to trust again. You need to learn what trust really is. You see, what you call trust is not trust at all. It is expectation. It is hope. It is a bargain. You say, I will trust you if you behave in a certain way. I will open my heart if you promise not to hurt me. But this is not trust. This is a business deal. And all business deals eventually fail because life is unpredictable. People change, situations change, nothing is permanent. Real trust is not about the other person. Real trust is about you. It means I will remain open no matter what happens. I will love even if I might be hurt. I will give even if nothing comes back. This is trust. Not in the other, but in your own capacity to remain loving, to remain open, to remain alive. When you understand this, you are free, because then you are not depending on anyone to be trustworthy. You are simply living from your own authenticity. And if someone betrays you, yes, it will hurt, but it will not close your heart. You will learn, you will become wiser, but you will not become bitter. You will not build walls. This is what I call spiritual maturity. Not that you stop trusting people, but that you stop making your openness conditional on their behavior. You remain open because that is who you are, not because others deserve it. This is freedom. This is love. This is trust in its highest form. So to this woman I say, yes, your husband lived a lie. Yes, you were hurt, but do not let his fear close your heart. Do not let his inability to be authentic make you inauthentic. Learn from this, see clearly, and then, when you are ready, open again. Not to him, perhaps, but to life, to love, to the mystery. That is your victory.
Master, that's profound. Trust as our own capacity to remain open, not as controlling others' behavior. Thank you. What a powerful session today. We've explored betrayal, authenticity, courage, and the true meaning of trust. Master, any final words for our listeners?
Just remember this. Every ending is a beginning. Every betrayal can be a liberation. Every closed door is an invitation to find a new path. Do not be afraid of truth. Be afraid of lies, even comfortable lies, because only truth can set you free, and freedom is the highest value. Live authentically, love courageously, and trust in your own capacity to remain open and alive, no matter what happens. This is the path.
Thank you so much, Master. And to our listeners, if today's session resonated with you, please subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode, and share this with someone who might need to hear these words. Leave a comment below telling us which insight touched you most. Until next time, stay awake, stay authentic, and keep seeking truth. This is Zoe, signing off from Wisdom Sessions.